Hi, I'm Carolyn, and I want to share about this spinal fusion surgery that I am about to have. And it all started back in September 2022, and it started with sciatica. I was outside doing what I usually do on a fall evening, watering my beautiful yellow mums, and my back was already hurting, but as I kept watering the plants, it intensified. And I was just praying and praying for God to make it go away because I didn't have time to deal with the aching back. And I was in the middle of publishing a new book. And every time I publish a book, I have to deal with spiritual warfare. So I knew that. So I was just praying against that. And when I reached the far end of the patio, I felt my first sciatic nerve pain as it went down my whole left leg like a lightning bolt. And my heart goes out to you who have neuropathy, who are dealing with sciatica, who are dealing with chronic pain, because that hurts. That is the worst pain I've ever felt, worse than childbirth. So I was down on my hands and knees by this point, crawled over into the grass and just laid there and bawled like a baby. Normally, I'd have my guide dog, Iva, outside with me, but I had left her inside that day. So, yes, I am blind. So, if my eyes look a little funny, that's why. So, I made it back into the house, and I was just determined throughout that first week that this was going to be a different case. This was not going to affect me worse. It was going to get better. It was not going to be for several weeks. I didn't have time for it to be for several weeks. And it kept on getting worse. And I had to, the day while I was laying out there in the grass, God gave me Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans for a hope and a future." And I thought, oh, wonderful. So all these plans I have, God, these plans we have, they're going to be fine. And when they weren't fine, I really was disappointed, and I couldn't understand because I thought God had blessed my plans, but they weren't his plans. And so when he gave me that verse, he wasn't talking about my plans. He was talking about his plans. And so everything from book signings to launch parties to speaking engagements, everything was canceled. And I could do absolutely nothing but run my book launch team from bed. I couldn't do podcast interviews or anything because it hurt to sit. My bottom was just the nerve pain, and there was just horrific. I could barely sit long enough to eat a meal. Probably for about 6 weeks, I laid on my right side because my whole left side was just inflamed with pain. I couldn't get no answers about what was going on. I mean, sure, they took an MRI, they took x-rays, and they said this, that, and the other, but yet there was no definitive answer. I think physical therapy made it worse instead of better. And by December, I finally got to see a spinal surgeon. I wish I had opted for that sooner. And even then, it was like, well, the first thing we have to do are the epidurals. So much of this jump through the hoop stuff for insurance. And so we did the epidurals. I had 2 of those in December, and they did help quite a bit, but not enough. The first one did really good. The second one didn't do a whole lot. They were so painful, not at the site of the injection, but as the medicine went into my leg. So they told me it was because my leg was so inflamed. The nerve was inflamed. So I go back and January thinking, okay, this is the day they tell me we're going to have surgery in 2 weeks and then we're going to move on with life finally. But that's not what happened. They told me that I had another problem they were concerned about. I don't know if anyone had ever taken a full x-ray of my back until that day. And when they did, they saw a spine that looked like it was 9 months pregnant. It was so curved. They did not want to operate on the herniated discs because of the larger problem being the scoliosis. So they sent me to a complex neurosurgeon named Dr. O, since I really cannot say his name. It's very difficult to say, so I think it's okay that we call him Dr. O, from what I understand. And I spoke with, I saw him, my husband and I saw him on February 2nd, 2023. This all began on September 19th, 2022. And on February 2nd, he tells me surgery, he can do first available time for surgery is way out in May. And I was very disappointed that it was going to be such a long time. And I'm so looking forward to getting to it and getting through it now. And knowing that God has plans, God has a hope and a future for me, and tuning really in to what God is doing for me and wants to do through me and for me and with me, and not my plans. And so I will be doing some videos, probably. I hope to do one the day after, the day of surgery, the day after surgery. I don't know when I'll be able to post them on here, but I will be doing a lot of posting. So the best way you can stay in touch with me is through my email subscription. And you can find that. I'm going to put the link in the description. And you can find that, of course, on my website, www.amountainoffaith.com. Make sure it's amountainoffaith.com. And it'll tell you to sign up for my email list, and you'll get a 7-day prayer guide. That is the best way to keep up with me right now, to keep up with my surgery and how things are going. I will be posting here on the YouTube channel. This would be the second best way to keep up, is to subscribe here. So I thank you for your prayers, and I am looking forward to what God is going to do through this. And I will catch you all on the next video. Have a great day. Goodbye.